Hello everybody, it's KFan701 here, and today it is official. I'm 31 years of age and I'm just so happy. I'm literally having an emotional blast of fun right now. I really am. I've had so much lovely birthday messages and I cannot thank you guys enough. You mean the world to me. I really am. I'm proud of you, man. All of you guys mean the world to me. Now, in case you're wondering what my icon is, that's basically from Azur Lane. That's actually Bismarck's sister Turplets. Because, I'm listening to a certain song that Sabaton did of Bismarck, which is the reason why I'm going crazily happily right now. Um, so, yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm 31 years of age now, and I'm literally just over the moon right now, having so much fun. And I'd like you guys to tune in as well. I'm just having a blast of fun, I really am. I've had so many great cards, some wonderful messages online. Like I said, I've never seen so many given to me in such a short time. It's just brilliant. I'm so thrilled. I'm actually emotionally happy right now, to be honest. I've had some of the stuff I've had, some messages are just so wonderful. They've really touched me deep down, man. I really am happy, man. I really am. Um, but despite a certain individual, if you remember you know, there's a certain trouble bloke, if you know, who takes my stuff and makes absolute BS stuff out of them. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, that Kuma bloke, whoever his name was, who just won't leave me alone. If you want to know, he's actually if you go in the private chat, that's his DA name, who stole my stuff and just screwed it all over the place. If any of you guys haven't noticed, he was on DA, but I blocked him. But that's his current thing right there. If you guys want to find him and hunt him down, that's him. But like I said, despite that happening and everything else, I'm just having a blast. I really am. Like, I'm just too happy to be annoyed, and I just want this fun to continue, and you guys can share it on it because I've got some great stuff already. Hang on a second. God, I'm stuffy nose. The good news is as well, my cold is subsiding a little bit, but I am a bit stuffed up because this is the aftermath coming in of it now, which is not very good. It's a bit scary, but hey, that's what happens. Ah. Oh. I do apologise for that. I've just got a stuffed up nose a bit. It's because my flu's breaking off. Sorry about that, lads. Ah. Oh, bloody heck. My apologies there, guys. Ah. I did have a previous stream last night, which was to celebrate, but I'll be going out by 7 p.m. to have a nice dinner with my family, which will be grand. But I'm going to show you. I got a brand new chair downstairs, which I've yet to assemble, which is the big one I got. This one will be going off eventually, sooner or later. Also got a big bag bottle of Prosecco, which is what I've got, which is the only alcohol thing I have. Like I said, I'll be drinking this all night long, brothers. And like I said, I'm having some great stuff already. I'm just happy, man. Like, legitimately, I'm just fired up like happiness. Oh, and just to let you know, I've got a brand new Samoa Joe T-shirt, from NXT WWE, which is actually what I got for out of my own Christmas money. I was gonna have it for my birthday, but I treated myself. Got this as well for Christmas. I'm wearing all brand new stuff lately, so I'm upgrading. It's all right, Christopher. It's fine, lads. If you didn't miss it, that's all right. It's because of the whole. Oh, I see. I thought you couldn't get me because of the storm that hit you in Scotland. That's what I thought. But if any of you guys want to join in and celebrate, I'll give you some links because I'm in a happy mood. Like I said, despite there were some people that were, trying to make me look bad or whatever. But no, that's just not happening, man. It's just a waste of time to try and take a cruel Mickey on me and commenting bad on my DA stuff. But that ain't gonna, I don't really give a damn whoever it is now because I have no time for that bullshit, man. If anybody, like I said, in the private chat, you'll see the bloke who, was giving me some grief. I mean, hey Daniel, it's actually my birthday now. I was doing it previously last night as a just in case I wasn't going to be on tonight. But I'm having a blast. Like I said, I'm emotionally fired up. Like I not like fired as far as you would think. It's just a saying. I'm just emotionally happy with so many beautiful messages I've had, and some great stuff, and some good gifts I didn't think I was going to get. Hey, Christopher. Oh, wow. You definitely have changed a little bit since we last saw each other a bit, but very quickly.
Yeah, been through my regeneration.
I was just going to say, the last time we saw, I thought you were gingered or whatever the case, but no, you've changed. No, because usually we speak at night time. Maybe it's just the first time we spoke in the daytime, I guess.
Yeah, it's because my parents are away, so I thought, might as well.
Well,
A
at
bit
least you've
easier.
made it on my official. Yeah, well, at least you've made it officially on my actual birthday stream, but last night was a good one. You can rewatch it if you want to see what we were doing, and it was quite fun. It was a bit fun, I'll tell you that much. You can thank Slim Killer. You can thank Slim Killer, who's down below in backstage watching right now. He did a fantastic job in getting us all prepared for today. And yeah, like I said, hey, the Slim Killer.
Happy
Hello.
birthday, Glenn. Congrats on finally becoming an old man.
Well, I'm a man, yes, but I'm not old. So my dad just said that just when he got back in from shopping. I feel old on the inside, maybe. But on the outside, maybe not. I'm already going grey in the hair thanks to his genes, unfortunately. I know. I know. I was thinking that's not how we age. I don't want to die young. I want to live to the fullest. Regardless.
Same here.
Well, he didn't go until he was like 17. When he started going grey, and I've started going since I was in my 20s, late 20s or whatever it was. But anyways, I'm just having a damn good blast. And well, 13. Talk about an unlucky number of viewers watching, but hey, that's really awesome.
Aye.
Like I said, everyone's happy. And listen, if anybody else tries to come in, don't worry, because quite frankly, everything that's been going on recently is done and dusted. As far as I'm concerned, we can progress and move on forward, because I'm making more new friends as possible, and keeping myself at bay with a lot of other things. But like I said, I'm just so happy. Like this isn't acting. Like this is real. Yeah, like I said, and despite I've got a lot of bits and bobs, I know you got your Doctor Who stuff, Christopher.
Yeah, I thought I'd changed the dome on one of my gold Daleks.
I see. It looks like it's still undergoing some more changes, still.
And this is my Dalek army at the moment.
That's grand. Oh wow, you got a bunch of stuff from Doctor Who. Well, a big collector's item. Anyway, Slim Killer, if you go in the private chat, you'll see at the top that was the guy who, gave me grief on DA, but because he takes my stuff and just screws all over the place and says some horrible stuff. He even says about my me drinking my prosecco. He says like I'm drinking piss or something. Not really.
What an idiot!
I know it's a type of a joke thing, but I wouldn't say that. But like I said, whoever the bloke is, I can trust my online guys here on YouTube to track them down. So I'm not too bothered. I mean, whoever it could be, I hope it's someone I don't know of. That's the thing that scares me. But anyways, besides all that, I'm just too happy, in a good mood. Like I said, I'll be going out at 7 p.m. to have a nice dinner with my family, because I suggested we should do something. Had some great cards. Letting mom and dad have their space a bit, and my nan, while I'm just talking with you guys and just having a I've got some great stuff. I didn't get too much, but it didn't really matter, and I've earned 85 grand in money. That's my birthday money combined. Ironically enough, that's how much I had for Christmas. Ironically enough. Yeah, I know. I had to spend a little bit because I had to spend on this and some other stuff. And I've got some good stuff.
I spent a few on some DVDs and some more 5 Doctor figures, because I've got a few cyber customs coming up.
Well, that's grand to know. I've also had some of my wrestling fans who came from Liverpool.
All inferior creatures are to be considered the enemy of the Daleks.
All right, Chris, what the heck? Your Daleks are talking. Oh dear. I think his Daleks came to life. That's scary. But anyways, I had some wrestling guys from Liverpool who hope to see me in a few months. I might make it. You never know. It's gonna be so fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seems like you've just woken up, Slim Killer, judging by how you are.
No. I
Oh.
did not.
Got your house on.
I usually don't go to bed, or I kind of skip my bedtime tonight.
Oh,
Mine is usually 7 in the morning.
Oh, but it's 3:25 already on my end. See.
Yeah, it's 10:25 it's 10:25 my end.
Oh, not bad. That's the time I got up, ironically enough. Let me see what else. I've just sent a lovely Twitter for Sabaton because I got my first stuff from them. I got a lovely card from the band. As you can see, even though my parents did this, they actually made it like Sabaton gave it to me. My first one.
Nice.
That's the band Sabaton you sometimes hear me playing. Even the dogs are happy to sit near me. And of course, I got my first Sabaton t-shirt of Bismarck, which was the first song I heard of them. Yeah, my very first one. My first song, my first t-shirt of Sabaton. And I'm just so happy. I got this one too, of their limited edition of their album, called Heroes. And it shows the memorial, and it even shows the flags I got off on it, just bring you guys, the Americans and us Brits together, with everybody who did their bit, on their album, This will be what I'll be wearing for this year's Remembrance Day, to remember everybody who did their bit, That's the reason why I bought it. It was the first thing I ordered as well. And ironically enough, Bismarck was supposed to come the following day after, but it came on the day just before I turned 31. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Even the former German terror of the seas outsmarted me today. For once, I'll let that go.
Yeah.
Hey Chris, you think kind of blacked out for a second, and your dogs were talking.
Yeah, I just had to pop out for a moment. I had to take a phone call.
That's all right. Like I said, I've shown you the stuff I got from Sabaton, the Swedish band. Got a lovely card from them and a lovely t-shirts, my first ones, which I'll be wearing tonight. It's just brilliant. I'm absolutely just rocking over, man. Listening to my favorite songs and just going full pro with this. I guess being in my 30s may not be too bad, I guess. Even though I would like to say I wish I could have relived my 20s a bit better. Because, I could have had, I don't know, kind of like done the same things over and over again. But at the same time, that was just how I was. I'm just really, really happy at the moment. I really am. If anybody else wants to tune in, they're more than happy to. I can only put like another 3 more people in because I can't do more than 6 people.
And now I'm trying to decide what to do with my spare Rastan Warrior figures.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because I've got 9 spare, and I've got 9 spare Doctor figures too.
Oh, I see. You got quite a lot of them then.
Yeah, because I needed to get quite a lot with the Cybermen, because I got a few leaders and a few of the ordinary Cybermen.
Mondosian or Pete's World Cybermen?
The Mondasian Cybermen at the moment.
Just gonna see if I can get Brandon to join us.
In the moment you said Brandon, I thought of that scene from Deadpool where in the opening fight scene, Deadpool screams out Canada.
Oh no, I don't think Brandon wouldn't do that. No, and I don't want to bring negative, but I'm not really a fan of Deadpool, to be honest. Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't dig him. You know, don't get me wrong. He looks okay from the comics. It's just that I just felt like if they ever did him and Wolverine together, we know the animosity between those two. Who they just
Oh
don't like.
yeah.
I mean, I was always picturing, imagining Hugh Jackman's Wolverine with the Deadpool we saw on the screen. I'm thinking those two would just, nah.
The one
They'll
they
just go out and
did
pull more.
it on. Well, technically, the two characters actually have interacted.
Yeah, I know, but it's not always pleasant though. As we know, they came from the same creativity, and ironically enough, they were both Canadians. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I know Wolverine was Canadian, but I didn't know Deadpool was.
Oh,
Yeah, it came from the same Mutant X program.
mind you, I don't know how me and Spider-Man are going to escape our predicament in the group roleplay that I'm doing at the moment.
Oh, I didn't realize you were in a group doing about Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
it's on Instagram, and basically, at this point, we've been kidnapped by who was it again? Kilgrave's daughter from the Jessica Jones series, although she's an OC.
I see. I don't usually do role playing, to be honest. But if I was to send you in Spider-Man Man Up for Freedom, I probably would get the X-Men, since Spider-Man has interacted with them before.
Yeah.
And maybe I probably would send out, I don't know, maybe the rest of the Avengers.
Well, I know my OC roleplay sister is going to try and save me, despite the fact that originally when we arrived at the base, she was badly injured because she'd fought against Kilgrave's goons, and now I'm forgetting who it was again.
I'll come back to you eventually, if you remember.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Just getting so many good messages on center. Just gonna
Still
let
can't
this one
remember.
Oh, look who's awake.
Yeah.
Grab your basket. Take it up to the mother.
What's for breakfast?
She's making mush. You want mush?
Sure.
get some really good messages back here. Like I said, I'm just so happy.
Ministry.
I've never had so many messages this fast that I can recall. Brilliant.
Like Hydra. Yeah, Hydra was the other lot that we were fighting against.
I see.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, because my OC sister, she actually fought Hydra before entering Jessica's house, or rather Jessica's workplace.
Well, the freshness date says.
And what happened was, after that, they tried to attack again, and they created a fire because one of the idiots decided to throw a grenade, which my sister managed to boot it away, basically. It's quite crazy, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Anything is.
Yeah, and it turned out that Jessica knew about Kylie, didn't tell me the last time me and her spoke to each other, which was before I left, after she had to take some time away because of stuff that had happened when we worked together at that point.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to send the message.
So at the moment, I kind of don't trust her, which is creating a bit of tension, which is why I went on the mission myself to try and free Spider-Man and ended up getting kidnapped.
Just going to put these in. Oh man, this is so cool. I'm just so happy. Like I said, I'm really just going happy with this, and I'm just like, uploading my stuff, from my birthday stuff now. I'm just really having a grand time. There we go, much better. Yeah, like I said, I'm just really over the moon right now. A lot of people are coming and going, they're dropping in and out. This is really brilliant. I had 13 and now I'm back down to 4. Must be different time zones, I guess, for some of these people.
Jeez, oh.
But, hey there, Thomas. I got you in. And there's your Spidey stuff, I can see. One side red and the other side black.
So how are you?
Oh, it's blue. Oh, my bad.
I went my Spider-Man hoodie off for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Robert.
Guys.
Hey,
I
Robert.
can tell we're all having a good time around. Like I said, I've got room for one more, whoever wants to join in afterwards. It's just having a grand time.
You're thinking about Star Wars Battle for Sordor.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh, wow. Joseph Grant replied to me. Oh, wow.
Glenn, speaking of Star Wars, did I show you I got this a couple days ago?
Nice.
Wait, Michael,
That's really
saying,
awesome.
is Timothy your favorite fan-made character?
Nice. Right, Darth Vader's always been my favorite. Always has been.
No, I meant Star Wars Battle for Sordor movie.
Oh, God. Let's not go into Star Wars and Thomas combined, please, mate, because that's only reminded me of one particular episode where it all just went straight to hell. Yeah, but I don't think that would work. Let's not go there.
Now, Glenn,
Yeah,
look who's
we
checking in
also-
for your birthday.
Oh, superb.
Oh,
More custom. Is that custom? That sounds more like a customized
Yeah.
thing you built there.
yeah,
Is that-
we watched Destroy Sordor and a man named Beachin.
Oh wow, new. Oh wow. What about anything new you built, Slim Keller? Any custom models?
No, that was the newest
Oh.
What you
one.
think?
I dug out by Vader's castle, though.
Nice. How come Thomas's name is on the cover when Scotsman's doing his Australian tour? That makes no sense.
It's a wallet, guys. I got it for my 25th birthday.
Ah,
Just gone.
Timothy's my favourite, Michael. Yeah. Well, I voiced him once.
I did watch your stream last night, Glenn, and that was amazing. So thank you very much.
Oh,
This
indeed.
Well, this is it's all about Beachin.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that episode yesterday.
Yeah, we always seen that. At least Beating's now left Sodor, I guess. Thank God.
Yeah. Mind you,
Yeah.
yesterday's one, that was crazy.
Yes, please.
Crazy. That was
And the
crazy.
one thing I didn't.
That was batshit crazy if I ever saw it. Pardon my French.
We seen Johnny Cuba manipulating the points.
And now he did
Yeah.
that. Like, no engine can do this. I'm thinking, what is he made of?
Even I was
Who
going to say
knows?
about that.
I think he's executed.
I would say I'm hoping he did get the black. Hopefully he got the black water effect. Hopefully.
I hope
Hopefully,
so,
but
kid.
I've got a funny feeling he will show up again sometime.
I was predicting that. I'm going to be straight up with you. I thought Peter would come back and stop him to redeem himself because we're in 1963 now. So come 1964, that'll be his final year in Railgate, and he'll be let out. Now I've got a feeling he's going to. To be honest, if they do, when part 2 of season 4 is done, or whatever it was, I've got a funny feeling that Peter will show up at the end to conclude the series. That's what I'm predicting. That's what I'm kind of hoping they're going to go for. It'll be nice to see Peter come home. And
Yeah.
he'll be
I really miss
the British Rail then.
I really miss Peter being in the show, even since his absence after the Wars of that episode what Victor did about World War II.
We heard that
Yeah.
Duncan came from. We heard Duncan came from the other railway.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Nick.
Hey guys.
It's been a long time since you've been on my stream, mate, and it's nice to see you back.
Just been kind of burnt out lately.
That's fine, man. At least you're the last guy to join in this amazing celebration. I'm just having a blast. I've had some great presents. I've got my Sabaton t-shirts in with Bismarck and Heroes and a lovely card.
Saw Johnny Kiva pushing Joey off the rails.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. I'm just having a blast, Nick. I really am.
Well, that's good, Glenn. It's good to see you in high spirits.
Well, I am. I've had some of the most wonderful birthday wishes I've had. Yeah, which are really good. Some from old friends I've not heard in a long while. Some are from new recruits. And I had some good ones on DA, despite, if you go in the private chat, there's one I copied it independently. There's one bloke in there who was giving me grief again. You know who, but, on DA, but I know what to do, because he kept on.
Wait, we saw Reginald's brother.
No, not that, Robert. No, I'm just saying a certain hater of mine kept on taking my stuff and just did some horrible bits and bobs to it, And so I know what to do, and he's gone. But hopefully, if CJ, whatever his name is, comes in and sees that, hopefully he can do what he's got to do. But like I said, I'm in too good high spirits and happy to be battered. I mean, it's a shame that there are some people who will try and make this bad. But it did, and I wouldn't do so. But I'm just in all spirit. That's what I'm just saying. That's why I've got so many good stuff going on right now.
Well, that's good, Glenn. At least you're in a good mood.
It's all right, Harpy. Don't be downward, pal. Like I said, join Joe in the moment if you can.
Oh, I am. I'm just kind of like half awake, so.
Wait, I didn't know you were showing your dog there on camera.
How cute.
Man's best friend.
Aye.
She's a big dog.
Oh.
His name's Sonny.
Sonny. It's almost like it means business. Like he's a big dog who means something.
Yeah.
How cute.
It's almost like he's playing possum ready to pounce. Almost. By the way, he's just lying there. As he's playing.
Hey, Glenn.
Wait, Kate.
Yes, Thomas.
Michael's saying is asking if Timothy is your favorite fan-made character.
Yeah, he is. He was one of my favorites. Yes, Thomas. What are you asking?
Another guy, someone in the house, and gave another birthday message to you from Billy Johard.
Thanks, Billy. I appreciate that.
Guys, I think Boys season 5 and 8 have leave Netflix.
Okay, now it looks like Sonny's definitely moving around. He's almost like he's taking your bed as his own thing now. As if he's trying to get you off.
Sorry, look. Who's that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, this Mob Boys season 5 and 8 have left Netflix days ago.
Oh, there we go. Poor attack.
What the?
There we go. Poor attack.
He just. I have no idea what he's just done there.
I think he was just like that. I don't think he's not too fond, I don't think.
No.
You alright, Christopher?
There we go. Sonny just did something there for a second.
Oh, bad news.
Well,
Guys, look.
How's things been coping in the server, by the way, Harvey? Things been going good?
Yeah.
things are quiet, surprisingly though, but obviously people are still thinking, oh yeah, blah blah blah, because everyone's looking at everything else, but there's a lot of models people aren't expecting right now, which I have sitting in the back room that no one's seen, for one.
Sorry, Nick. So, yeah, okay.
And on top of that, the big surprise I've had cooking my root, which no one has seen much of. Yeah.
What about okay.
Yeah.
There's the monster for you.
That's only 1,505 base boards.
Blimey.
Yeah,
But at least
and that thing's nowhere near done.
What about the but like I said, the last time I was in the server with you, you know, Nick, there was a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of talking and chit-chatting when we started getting back together. I was thinking we could continue that at some point.
Well, a lot of things are still floating around, but it's just that I've been working on this thing alone and no one wants to help, so.
Well, like I said, hopefully things will go well. Despite I've
Just
had other
damn
friends who have
pig do this
got
thing
decided to
alone.
leave out, you know, because of reasons.
I'm sorry, I don't speak yawn.
No, I know, sorry to mature.
That happens to all of us.
If it happens to one person, it happens to everybody.
And there's two Michael. Oh, hey Michael Blitz, I got you in.
Yep.
Hey, nice to see you. Yeah, Timothy was one of my favourites, and I did voice him. You know, but the dark days are done. Like I said, I'm just repackaging him as a good guy now.
Yeah, I think Timothy was one of those. He wasn't one of those like I don't know if you've seen like all those ghost stories where the ghost engine approaches, let's say the main character of the episode, he disappears. No, Timothy was different. He was more of an actual ghost engine. He had something to do.
Yeah, as I said in one of those as I said in basically my favourite tease trailer that I did back in the day when I was good at voice dubbing, which is my personal favourite one. It was the one where he says like he's no ordinary, and of course Timothy's not an ordinary ghost train. Like he's different. He's not like the others.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking of doing a movie that's about Timothy's life before he died, which is kind of because it's based off a movie I saw like years ago. It's taken off like years ago, and I want to see what I can do that can show Timothy's life in a new perspective.
Well, it is. Well, he had a different life before then, but I'm rebuilding him to something different now. So it's not like because in mine he's now alive. He still lives. Just in
Actually, do
mine.
you believe in the whole theory that Timothy was a different engine before he became an E2?
Yes, I do. I actually said that was canon in mine. He was a completely different engine, and in order to survive, he became a prototype.
Actually, in my opinion, I think the only engine that Timothy could have been before he became an E2 was a brother of Stepney,
Yeah, good theory.
because
Maybe.
that's the only engine I see actually kind of being close to the E2s.
What
Well,
about
in
an
my book,
E1?
no, he didn't have a Well, let's just say because of one video I remember him saying he didn't have like 6 wheels to begin with. In mine, he had my head came. He had like two. He had 2 sets of driving wheels, so he was like 4 wheels in. He was even smaller than he was back then.
True,
The
but also here's the thing that I've always wanted to figure out: should there be an episode in any series that anybody does where Thomas is faced with the troubles of his actual class?
Well, we all know his class did have some design flaws and whatnot.
I think the best thing there'll be is in the Adventure Begins.
Well, if you remember as well, Thomas was young. He had less experience, you know. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
but
you know,
he's technically older than Gordon and Henry.
Exactly. If I'm correct, Edward, the Scottish twins, somewhat Percy, and James, they're the oldest.
yeah. But the way how they acted still were like young. But if you think about it, still by the time they were on Sodor, they were still young and they still had, you know, but they had to experience. They still had plenty of experience, maybe, but they were still younger and they still had more to learn on other things, you know, because they weren't on their railways anymore at the time, you know, at that point, let alone not meeting other engines as well. But at the same time, I also think maybe their personalities didn't go with their age either, you know, because like I said, we were talking about the Slim Killer and,
Yeah.
and on another stream, and there was another stream I was in before I was blocked out, saying that, like Percy, for example, he may be the littlest, he still acts like he's the youngest, but
Yeah.
but maybe his maturity and age had slowly caught up with him, and nowadays it's like they're all finding it hard to let go of their old habits, and they're just becoming more like, oh no, like they've got the mindset of teenagers or younger adults now. It's like,
Yeah.
and some of them find it hard to let go of old habits.
Mm-hmm.
Like Henry's basically always has adapted to himself. Like he's well over 100 now, and he's still going. As is Gordon. Well, Gordon's just but since it is 2022, that means Gordon's going to become 100 now.
Yeah, that
So
is true. And also next year will be. I don't think it's Flying Scotsman's birthday. I think Was he built in 1923?
Yeah.
Yes, he
Next
was
year
built in
will be-
1923.
Yeah, next year he or she or
Uh-huh.
whatever you want to say will be 100. So in
Yeah.
22,
Uh-huh.
in 22. Speaking of Flying Scotsman,
All right.
guys. Speaking of Flying Scotsman, in
Yeah.
22 days now he will become 99.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that is so surprising because he doesn't look like an engine that's 100 years old.
No, that's what I mean. Ever since his 10-year overhaul, he got back into his British Railway form, and despite he did have some certain faults, he looked like he had new life breathed into him, like he's a young engine again.
If
You
I'm
know,
correct,
at the
many
end-
people were sort of like ticked off because Flan Scotsman's in apple green, yet he's in 1950s condition.
Well,
1960s.
he was basically as he was when he left British Railways in 1963.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and if I'm correct, I think the Australian tour went a whole lot better than the USA tour.
Listen,
I
the
see.
the Australian thing was always sorted out, so there was no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like I said, I always felt, I think both tours were grand despite what happened in America. But still, at least it helped and worked up and, made
I
Scotsman more
mean,
famous.
if you think about it, there are two other cases of a British locomotive actually being to the United States. One was the Flying Duchess, which is in Kansas, I believe, and then the other one is the more famous Repton, who is at Steamtown.
There's also a British locomotive sold to the U.S. of it was actually worked at Heritage Railroad in the 1970s. And
the
then
Eisenhower
in
near Canada.
2006, it went to
Oh
the
yeah, those two
scrapyard
too.
before being saved again.
Yeah, actually, me and my friend Ethan Strode have been thinking because we're doing a series where Dwight D. Eisenhower does appear in the series. We actually we actually questioned if he would have an American accent because he's been in America so many years.
I
And
he's lost his accent. No, he's still speaking good British,
yeah, and we thought of, you know what, let's make him speak half American, half British because he wants to keep his British heritage.
Not to mention,
Well, he is British.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he also had Scotsman's touring cards with him as well. Not to mention, there was another A4 who lives in Canada called the Dominance of Canada.
Yeah,
Dominion of Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And speaking of which, those engines, if I'm not mistaken, there was a rare photo of actually Flying Scotsman and the two meeting nose to nose.
Wow. I recently saw this photo on YouTube about Mallard being transported on a truck on a highway, and the captain said, "I actually thought Mallard was in a NASCAR race because it kind of looked like she was racing the cars."
Well, in a strange way, that's what they were built for. Their design was based on them racing cars, or whatever they were, especially what Gresley had said.
Yeah, and let's not forget there are two other engines who had that streamlined design: the LNER W1 after it became a failure, and the P2.
Hush hush.
You mean
Yeah.
hush hush?
Yeah.
Well, P2. Well, the P2s were okay. That had to be modified afterwards, after what was going on, and of course the W1, aka Hush Hush. Despite it was pretty unique.
Yeah.
They actually probably just released it. Now they've done it now in its grey star with white stripes for some reason. Because last time I heard it was like in Garter blue and had stripes on it, but I didn't know it was going to be painted in in greyish type of colour and the white stripes on it. If you can see in the Hornby book.
Yeah, and would you guys like to hear that a story I created, but which will kind of cause some controversy? It's a bit odd.
We don't want to have too much controversial on the stream.
Oh no, it's not. It's not that controversial. It's just that it's something that a lot of steam railway fans, especially if you're an LNER fan, will not like.
Can I get back to what I was saying about that locomotive?
Sure.
Sure.
Wait,
Go ahead.
are you talking about the Flying Duchess?
No, another one. The ones that lives in America. Mind if I share the screen?
Yeah, sure thing.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I'm really sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead then.
Oh, that. Oh,
yeah, it's that one. That's the Flying Duchess.
Yep.
No,
Well,
I'm not.
her name was the Flying Duchess, but never no. I don't think anybody really called her the Flying Duchess.
I think the reason why it's called the Flying Duchess because they coronation because one of the element has coronation Scott or duchesses they were called back then. One that went to America during the 1930s.
Yeah. And so my episode idea stars an engine who is half steam engine, half brake van. I know that's weird, but he's like a brake van on an 060 chassis. And he's built by, don't worry, you can hate me for this, Reggie Thompson,
Hang on, I think I have seen that. Yeah, I've seen this engine who has like a truck coach thing on the back of him, and then he's like, yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen a
Guys,
few
I
models
have
of this
to go
before.
now,
Someone
unfortunately.
did this on trains as well. I can remember. Which was
Happy
quite
birthday,
intriguing.
Glenn.
Thanks, Slim Killer. I'm glad you popped
Yeah.
in. You can come back. I'll be back at some point.
So I know Thompson was not the most famous guy in the LNER days, but definitely not.
I hate that guy.
Listen, don't mention he was one of the worst. Look,
Okay.
Exactly.
What are your opinions on Mr. Peppercorn?
Brilliant.
I think my rate.
Yeah,
I think my
he should have
I think my
continued
reason-
on.
I actually, me and my friend John Leonard, we came up with the Grey Grizzly Flyer, which is pulled by the LNER engines and Tornado, despite the fact he is not a Grizzly engine. But hey, he's an LNER engine, so who cares?
Well, as long as
And
you're
you
part of the
built-
LNER, listen, if you're part of the LNER heritage family or whatever, you're still a family member, regardless of what you are, regardless of what engine you are. You're just basically either a cousin or a relative or whatnot. Because here's the thing: I've always looked at the A1s, the peppercorn A1s. They're more like I would say more like the what's what I'm looking for? They're like
updated version.
No. They're more like the how to put it in family wise. They're basically they're like the great grandsons or the great granddaughters of the A1 class, which is what Scotsman was before he became an A3.
Oh
Okay?
yeah.
So basically, Tornado in reality is Flying Scotsman's great granddaughter.
Yeah, and
Great
actually,
grandson.
here's a good question. Do you think Prince of Wales and Tornado should be best friends because they're built by the same locomotive trust?
Well, of course they
Exactly.
will
Yeah.
be. Basically, they're family. If they're built by the same, if they're built by the same company that's making them now, they're considered family in the link chain. But because they're being built from the same class that they had in their previous one, they basically are like new siblings of their fallen comrades. And at the same time, they're basically going to be like, they're basically the great grandchildren of what Fly Scotsman's heritage would have been, lads.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about this. If you've heard, the A1 Locomotive Trust plans to build a LNER V4 after they are finished with Prince of Wales. This is what I've been thinking. Is it really necessary for them to build a V4 when we have technically one already as a V2? That being Green Arrow.
Listen, the V4s were a rare type. Only 2 of them were ever built, and they didn't make it. That's why they're a rare type of engine, and I think this is going to be great to see this. Now, we've never seen one before. I've never seen one. To be honest, it's really good bringing the LNER back, in my opinion.
If you really think about it, I think Prince of Wales is going to be the talk for like many years because he will be the most powerful British locomotive in operation. If you take that into account,
and he could also possibly be among the fastest because he is partly streamlined.
True.
But again, I think he can go 100. I think he can do it. But here's the thing: Prince of Wales will have its own spotlight, its own share of fans. It'll be just like what happened with Tornado. But the only difference is Tornado's basically been the only closest locomotive on equal playing footing as Flying Scotsman. So I think Prince of Wales will have its own fair share, and it won't try and seize the famous crown of Flying Scotsman or whatever. I can't see it happening.
And let's not forget that the first component of 2007 was built by James May.
Indeed.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's true, you know.
And the second part,
Then again, I bet there's not been like a whole lot of progress on the replica of Cock of the North. Oh my god, I
I
can't
was going
believe
to say
this.
about that as well.
It is called Cock of the North, yeah.
That's a weird
Originally, it
name.
was called.
I'm
But
glad
at
that
least,
they're in some series. He's called the Chief, which I bet is a whole lot better name than Cock of the North.
maybe that was his nickname. Anyways, here's the thing: at least one of the engines is getting resurrected, which is the original P2 himself, which was actually Cock of the North. At least
Yeah.
at least he's coming back somewhat, but not in the way we were thinking. And I'm not too fond of him in the A4 Bugatti nose form. That I don't think that. No, he should have just been the same with. He should have just basically been built the same way as
1934, he was built.
as what Prince of Wales is gonna look like. So then you can have like two twins.
Actually, over here in the United States, I'm pretty excited because we're almost done. They're almost done completing the restoration of Reading 2102, which is pretty exciting.
Oh yes, don't get me. Look, I'm already looking forward to that locomotive coming back because she's my favourite northern in terms of the Reading and Northern Coal Burning Railroad. Okay,
Let
despite
me guess, your favorite 484 is probably going to be FEF or FEF 844 or 611.
look,
I
44,
was
49 is always going to be the top one because it's the beautifulest one of them all. But 611 shares that spot too with 44, 49 because both engines have a similar public relationship with the public and they're basically, as I like to say, the Flying Scotsman and Mallard of their time.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, 844 is probably like, I don't know, some. I want to say tornado, but then that'll be overstretching it a lot.
No. Look, 844 is in the ranks as well. But like I said, that's its engine in its own way. But like I said, that's if you want my favourite Northerns, like I said, 44, 49, 844, 44, I like to call it. I don't call it by 844, no. I just call it by the treble four instead. And you got 611. That to me is the best trio of North American engines you've got.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they took 611 to Strasbourg because I'm like, really? A 484 on that kind of track? I don't think it'll be able to weigh it, but
they did
it happened.
Twice now, actually, because she's still there.
Yeah, though I don't think they're going to do it with 2102 because I think she's going to be a little bit heavier than 611.
Well, because she's got a much lighter northern style. Not to mention, you know, I do think if they could have had like if 611 could have made it to Strasbourg, I can only imagine what it would be like if 44, 49 made it.
Yeah, and actually, if you've heard back in December, are you excited that we now have Western Maryland 1309 back in operation?
I haven't
Yes,
heard of it.
Don't get me started on it. I'm already digging that loco big time.
And we'll be calling her Western Maryland 1309, not Chesapeake and Ohio 1309 now.
Well, she's still a CNO original still. Like again, that's the bloodline, but now she's got a new home, a new railroad to serve.
Yeah.
It's just like the Strasbourg locomotives. Now we've just got this one who's got a Western Maryland identity now. But
yeah,
again,
and here's a question that I want to ask you regarding an American steam locomotive. What do you think the future holds for Union Pacific 3985?
She's retired now. I don't think she'll come back.
She'll probably become a static display like her sister engine 3977.
But then again, who knows what would happen because they can't run all three engines. If one of them went out again, then maybe 3985 could come back if 844 was being overhauled. Like they took that one out, for example, and then, that probably would be the only way. That would be the only way it would happen.
Someone actually did a song about two Union Pacific locomotives. One was Roll On Big Boy, which is a heck of a good song about 2014. But then they made a song about Union Pacific 9000, and I'm like, wow, people really do like that locomotive.
Yeah, it's got a strange feeling with the company, with the people. But anyways, the only thing that's funny about 1309, even though it's a rare type, because we've never seen a mallet, a 2882 mallet articulator restored. So this is a very rare breed of loco we've made. And of course, made history near the end of 2020 and into 2021, which was exciting, and then it ended it again last year before Christmas. So I've got a feeling America is going to have a new fond of American locos, just like we Brits are doing. So I think they're catching on us really quickly. I'm just happy to see it.
Let's not forget they're still building Pennsylvania Railroad 5550.
Yes, don't worry. We've got about 8 years to go now before it's completed by 2030. So
Despite what people say about the record breaker, I'm just happy that she's going to be in operation. I don't really care about the record breaking.
Look. I don't really give it. I'm not really too bothered about the record breaking, but I would like to see it in this generation. It'd be a sensation for steam fans, whether you're British, American, Australian, or Canadian. It would make the blood run excitably. And think about it, even if Mallard's record was broken, it would still maintain being the fastest steam engine in Britain, which means more than being around the world.
Yeah, so, and I bet see what Mallard would be like if someone actually broke a record. Took you long enough.
I know. I think Mallard would be like, yeah, it would have took you long enough, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's too concerned about the record being shattered anymore. But it would be a good challenge to lay down. Hey, Thomas Man 6129, nice to see you after a long absence. It's good to see you back.
Actually,
I thought I recognized you.
My favorite Pennsylvania Railroad locomotive, and my favorite locomotive of all time, is not the Pennsylvania T1, but its predecessor, the PRR S1, the big engine.
Yeah, that engine was good. Shame they could have actually built. If they want to build a replica, that's fine. Maybe for a display to give it an idea, you know. But at the same time, the Pennsy were a mad railroad of all types of stuff.
To be honest, back in that time, there was like two railroads that were like on top: the New York Central and then the Pennsylvania Railroad.
Well, just think about it. Those two had an absolutely unbelievable like a rivalry like no other.
But especially it's like the Star Tucks and the Z Stacks, basically.
You could say that was the case, but at the same time, there were other rivalries going on. You had Southern Pacific, the Southern, Norfolk and Western, then Union Pacific. They were all in competition, but fighting for the championship of being the best railroad. But to me, as far as if you want to ask me from a British standpoint, they were all good in their own ways. Regardless, no one was better than the other. They were all just doing what they had to do for the nation. But at the same time, competition was very fearsome. But at the same time, it was a good time to be around because you had so many good different locos. It's like here in Britain when with the LNER, the LMS, the Great Western, and the Southern, they didn't have to concentrate on on competing for passengers. They can concentrate on being the best and making new locos we never saw before. So passenger competitioning was out the window at that point. So that's fine. It was just about making engines of what we could see.
Very true. Very true.
It wasn't like a competition of who could get the most passengers and make the most money anymore. Not before. By the time we got to the 20s, that is, I'm referring here in England. But I think in America they had their own ways to go through. But like I said, if I were to be shown, I mean, I'm going to be very honest. The Pennsy was at the time one of my least favorites growing up because I don't know, I can't explain. But lately, thanks to K&L and recent fans and learning other engines, they kind of have won me over in respect.
If you think about it, that I'm surprised they actually made that many K4s as they did.
Yeah, in the Juniata shops in Pennsy, they made a lot of them. They weren't shy of making as many as they could.
And we currently have one in Thomas and Friends if you count Hank.
Yeah, Hank is technically a K4, although he doesn't even mention himself being from Pennsy. Who knows?
Actually, me and my friend Ethan Strode, we were talking about this one character from a Thomas and Friends, not the show, but a comic, and it was Flying Thistle. And we were wondering how would he fit in? Like, what is his historical significance? And then we just came up with the thing that he was the very last LNER A3 to be built. After I forgot who was the last one to be built, but and then he would survive.
I actually have a theory that he was basically one of the secret prototypes after Gordon, perhaps, in my opinion. I think
I mean, he does look more like Gordon than a typical LNER A3.
Yeah, like I said, he could have been built in secret without noticing. Anyways, besides that, going back to the Pennsy Railroad, I will admit I do have a bit of fav in some of them. I will admit the American type like Strasbourg 1, 2, 2, 3 was good, and because it had that American feel, and some of
AKA
the,
Ariel.
yes, from the 311, yeah, she is basically Ariel, a 3OC, anybody can use her, you know. Anyways, besides that, you had who else? Oh
The
yeah, you had
7002.
no 7002 is okay. That's Albert from Cass City. I'm talking about somebody else. There were some other engines that won me over, which were pretty good. The Pennsylvania Mountain type, which were very good. They were a legendary type of engine who could do
I'm
just
very
anything.
surprised the Pennsylvania Railroad never made a Northern type engine.
Maybe they just didn't have the budget to do it because that it would be nice if they had, but maybe they didn't want to keep ripping off other railroads that they had. And they did they did uh, they had they had the terrible decker pads, which were a nightmare for the Pensies. I will admit they were a nightmare. Thanks, William boy. Hey, nice.
Yeah, I actually do feel sorry for the lone surviving decapod. He's not really at that. He's not really being cared for, but I hope he does in the future.
But like I said, at least he's found a place somewhere. But like I said, despite I liked them when they had the longer tenders rather than the smaller ones for some reason. They just make them look good. I wasn't a fan of their Banshee whistle, which was very bad. They had the Mountain Air type as well, which was good. And then they even had probably one of the best ones they had was the Mikado type, which weren't too bad.
True, and I think that the Pennsylvania Railroads were one of those locomotives that you can distinct by because they have those keystone number plates.
Yeah, they were their own. That was their tradition identity compared to many other railroads in America. They were their own type.
If you've really been looking in the trains, they kind of already did their own version of a Pennsylvania Railroad 2018 to think of 1218. I'm sorry, my mistake.
Listen, that's the alternative. What if had they actually done it? Listen, we know the story better than anybody. Because this was during wartime when you couldn't allow to build a new engine.
It's exactly how they built the big boys. It was for wartime.
Yeah, because of the rule restrictions, and of course, go to Plan B, borrow another engine's design and just copy it. But which one? And of course, as we know the story, they took a C&O 210-4 and then they just did some minor alterations and kept it in the railroad style. And they built the 210-4J types, and they built an impressive 125 of them.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of sad that none of the New York Central Hudsons were preserved.
Same. Although we could see a new one get built, you just never know.
Yeah, I would rather prefer seeing one. I don't know, because I really want to see one in streamlined condition, because those were like the most iconic of the Hudsons. But then again, I would love to see a traditional one just to see how traditional it would be.
I prefer the traditionals. Don't get me wrong, the streamlines are good, but I prefer them as they were before they were streamlined. That's just me. And you had again, the Pennsy built some good 210-4s. Like I said, they were okay, but like I said, it wasn't quite a Pennsy design, but they were really good. I think they were really, really good. And if they had done the Pennsylvania Railroad FG1, had they gone with 1218's class design, they should have actually just done both of them. And in my opinion, this is me, they could have at least used the Pennsylvania Railroad FG1 as their trump card as a backup.
That I actually like that, and because they could have just like built one just for like, I don't know, like standby work, or like what they did with the Erie Erie triplexes, like backing engines. Though I don't think.
Don't get me started on the listen, despite their monsters of design, I still think that was quite impressive.
And I like how you did the historical significance of having Jason be a replica, not one of the actual triplexes.
Look, I've explained this many times. Okay, Jason may look like an ordinary triplex, okay? He's my OC now since Mr. Ortez gave me him afterwards, so he's my OC now. Hey, look, he looks like one, okay? He may look like the original Man Shay, and he's got the same number, he's blue, because he's honouring the original. That's his way, okay? And listen, he may have 2 wheel arrangements on him, but he's supposed to have a 2 8 8 8 8 4 wheel arrangement. So he's supposed to be a mixture of two of them, like
Yeah.
of the Virginian class who has the wheel arrangement, while his body's got the original of the originals. So he's like a combo of the two of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like if they ever made a replica of either the Virginian or Santa Fe 2 10 10 2s and then just like combo them together.
Yeah, basically he's honouring two classes as one, and you just got to ignore the wheel arrangements. That's the difference, okay? And of
Yeah.
course, unlike the original triplexes, in mine, Jason's capable of actually taking some passengers in the ranks. He can actually, he can't go any higher than the express rank, but like I said, he can take locals. The difference in his
Yeah.
personality, he's used to taking freight with no trouble, but when he takes coaches, he's just not comfortable. Like I said, he's quite nervous. But as you see in if you see in the movie though, he pops at a good pace and he's like a smooth, slow type of individual, and that's just how he is.
And during that scene where David says that the trucks try to play tricks on him, oh boy, I wish they didn't play tricks on him, because you know what would happen if UK Rolling Stock went against an American giant like David. We all know what could happen.
Listen, it's just something I felt like the British trucks need to learn. Like, you don't mess someone who's twice your size, or like I said, you don't mess with a big man. Basically, otherwise you pay a hefty price. So I felt like that needed to be quite cool, just for a bit of a laugh.
Definitely.
Just be thankful. The truck should be thankful that it wasn't a Challenger class, or even worse, a big boy. Yeah, because he would have smashed them to kindling with no hesitation.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I kind of personalized 4014 as being a kind, sensible engine, but she's not afraid to like I don't know, like show up someone for being rude or like showing them who's boss.
I'm still configuring of thinking if Big Boy was a male or female, but in mine I haven't used it yet. But if it were to happen, it would be someone with physical strength who's like a gentle giant, but take the wrong way, it's either death sentence or you get lucky,
Yeah, and you won't be surprised by this. I don't really refer to 844 as either that or 8444. I refer to him as Living Legend.
That's the nickname, but that's just me. Probably that's the only engine who could come close to Flying Scotsman, but not in celebrity wise. Despite that locomotive is the only one who never retired.
And speaking of Flying Scotsman, have you ever heard of I forgot what it was called, the Romney and Dymchurch Railway?
Yes,
Romney and Dymchurch.
Yeah, the one that's very similar to what the Arsdale Railway engines would have looked like, except they're a little bit bigger. And
technically, that's the Ravenglass and Exdale Railway.
Yeah, they actually did build a model of Flying Scotsman on that railway at one point. I do remember. Very similar
and if you remember, the Alan Pegler attended the reunion of Typhoon and Flying Scotsman, which was actually kind of cute.
That is nice, yeah.
Sir William McAlpine it was.
Yeah, Sir William McAlpine.
Yeah, it was nice to see that and see what a size difference.
90 years apart, they've seen each other since 1927.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They hadn't seen each other since that year.
I wonder if Flying Scotsman has ever had. I mean, he's had 3 different cases where he's nearly been scrapped, and he's like, well, I have to go on. I have to show other young steam locomotives that steam can still live.
Well, as he said to Stepney in Fame and Fortune, he was like, because he looks up to Gordon. He says, he's been through a lot, and all he ever does is makes his owner go bank. He keeps getting his owners bankrupted all the time.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like. I actually kind of like the dynamic that would happen between Tornado and Flying Scotsman because they're both 4.62s, though built by different people, but they're extremely similar if you think about it.
Well, the Darlington works that built Tornado's class and himself, they still had a degree of independence from Doncaster, so they had they were a very similar working group that were very similar to what Gresley's own workshops at Doncaster could do.
Yeah, so
49.
Nice to see.
here's an honest question about Flying Scotsman. Does he look good with German smoke deflectors?
Look, Scotsman looks good with or without. It depends. Listen, it doesn't really matter. He's just the same engine, regardless.
Though I think the smoke deflectors has now become, since he's had them for so long, it's his like overall look. That's what you see when you think of Flying Scotsman.
Well, basically, that's what he's had since 2000. You know,
Other than the two tenders, but still.
he'll get. Listen, since he can't get his old one back, they might as well build a brand new one for him.
That's what I have in my head canon for the Great Race. He got a brand new one because his is now gone to Bittern.
Yeah, as he said to Gordon, that cheeky devil hasn't even given it me back.
And speaking of which, Bittern still has the Scotsman's tender in Margate with Hornby.
Yeah, they officially made it. They officially made a 2-tendered one for him. I've got 2 tenders for Flying Scotsman too, but if I was to have had that with Bittern, I would just do an alternative history and just pretend he gave it back and just had his own made for him. That's what I would talk around.
That's actually how I picture Bittern being like. He's kind of cheeky. As for the one who recently left us, goodbye Union. You were great while you were. I think Union of South Africa will kind of be like the quietest of the 6 LNER A4s that are still around.
Well, I still think now that he's left, we've only got Bittern and Snodgel Gresley who are the only ones who will be able to move around and do what they got to do. I still think there should be now a time. I hate to say it, but I think one of the original A4s should return. Instead of being a double chimney, well, actually keep the double chimney because it gives them much more breathing for the A4s. But I think they should rebuild and bring back one of the pioneer A4s, and I know who in particular.
Silverlink.
Yep, Silverlink.
The original, the one who started it all off.
I always felt like Silverlink is like the pinnacle. Like even Mallard, it was him that they looked up to. It was all the A4s who looked up to Silverlink.
Well, Silverlink was the one who led the way with 3 other A4 prototypes of the Silver class, and to be honest, I think Silverlink deserves to be resurrected and show us the public, even though she made a brief return, even though that was Bittern masquerading her.
If you really think about it, it's like Flying Scotsman did with Great Northern.
Funny enough, Nick Bowditch once said that Great Northern's still with us, and perhaps maybe the boiler thing could be part of that. I don't know, but who knows? But like I said, they should build some more. Speaking of other American engines, we were talking about like the New York Central. I would love to see my personal favorite. I would like to see the New York Niagaras come back.
Oh, definitely, because those are like I don't want to say heavily similar to the FEF, but they have like the same like feeling you get when you see them.
They look bigger than 844's class, and of course they had the Challenger's tender, which was very similar, just much longer.
True.
But kid you not, those big Norlands could move.
Yeah, and actually, there is one locomotive that I'm actually having to appear in my series. 2 locomotives, which you might not know. One of them, not really, because of how old he is, and probably no, but everyone in Britain forgot about him. City of Truro and New York Central 999.
City of Truro, I haven't forgotten. I know that loco very well.
But 999 is probably the one you know the least about.
Heard about it, but not too much.
In my series, 999, who is Ethan Strode's OC, Ethan, Truro, and Flying Scotsman, they're called the 3 speedsters because they're the 3 locomotives who have claimed to have been 100 miles an hour, and they don't argue about it.
What about? Okay, hey there, CJ Jones. Nice to see you. And Jordan's gamer. Hello there. Hey
Hello
there,
there.
Mr. Of course, as you can tell, yeah. Like I said, CJ, if you haven't remembered, I told you about Jason. Yeah, you see in the Clinchfield film, he can take freight with no trouble, but when he takes passengers, he's very, very unsure. But again, as you heard when he was speaking to Scotsman, he was okay with it. And of course, he can't go any higher in the ranking than he can go because that's not what he was designed for. Because he's a replica of the two classes, and he can only do so much. Like I said, he can. Like I said, he's good at shunting. He can do. He's good as a back engine. He can do just about anything. Like I said, he's not like the original triplexes. He can do more than they can. And he's a bit stronger than them as well. So he's got no trouble.
That's how everyone wants to wish that locomotives of his design or any other design would have been.
It's basically what he's basically unlike what they could do, and he can do what they couldn't do because he's designers from the Steam Replica Association, which I named, which he was the first one built of. They gave him features that you can't see because they're hidden. They won't give him his strength. He's got a much bigger. But one thing is notable: he has a much bigger firebox, and he doesn't. And of course, he can breathe a lot better. Not to mention, he doesn't have the thing that plagued the originals. He doesn't have will slip. He doesn't have the will slip. No.
And there's actually two locomotives that I'm looking forward to be returning to. Well, not returning to Steam, but actually coming back alive, which are 6880 Beton Grange and 5551, the Unknown Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I am kind of upset that the Unknown Warrior was not 3 years overdue. I think he is, but hey, better late than never.
Hey, look, it takes time. It doesn't really matter how long it takes, as long as he's done.
I mean, if you think about it, take it like how Prince of Wales and the Unknown Warrior will be. They're two locomotives that will be like dressed up in non-BR times. They'll be dressed up like as they used to be.
Yeah, hopefully by next year, when we get to Flying Scotsman's 100th birthday, I'm hoping he will be dressed back in his original livery because I don't want to see him in British Railway livery anymore. I'm kind of a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's lovely to see Scotsman, but I think it's time now for it to have a new look, to be painted different now.
I think we've seen too many BR liveries in this time period.
It's nice to see Scotsman back in what it was, but I think it's now time for it to have a new look. Like, I don't know, like it would be nice if it was painted in BR blue. That would be nice. Then it would look like Gordon.
Yeah, that would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it would work.
There's actually two locomotives that I have in my series, which are actually movie characters. The Polar Express, not Pierre Marquette 1225, the one from the movie, and Scarlet, aka Alton Hall, aka Hogwarts Castle.
As far as I'm concerned, Trial 25 is the real Polar Express. I don't care what people say. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, Ethan Strode came up with the idea that we should just name Alton Hall Scarlet for short because due to her color and she has a bit of Harry Potter within her.
Speaking of which, I do think, like I said, I don't know how the public's going to react when Reading 2102 comes back. I can only imagine what the public's going to think.
I actually asked Ethan Strode about this. Is just how 1309 did with 734? Will this mean that 425 will be taken out of service? And he said no because she has a few years left before she goes in for another maintenance run. And I'm like, oh, that's a surprise because I thought she was on her way out and 2102 was going to be replacing her until she returned.
Who knows? Could be that could be a possibility. What about
Here, guys.
Yes, Thomas?
Can I show you something quickly?
What? What is it? Oh.
The golden plated Flying Scotsman.
Oh, nice! You got the American plated gold version of Flying Scotsman. You're very lucky because it's got the headlamp, everything.
Nice.
And also, another
That's
better
actually
model.
that's my favorite look of Flying Scotsman, to be honest.
It's a shame, really, because that would have been a nice running board. I've got Flying Scotsman too, but not in that with the headlamp. But you are one lucky, you know what to get it. And to be honest, look, I know Flying Scotsman's good in all forms, but look, I'm going to be very honest. The American Tour, to my opinion, is Scotsman's best form to date. I don't know why. It looks good as a British locomotive, but with the American bits and bobs on it. I don't know why. It just looks good.
To be a friend, also going back to Reading 2102, let's not forget that 2100 is also being restored back to service, and she may also return by the end of this year, come early 2023. Who knows? But
Who's coming
that's
back?
interesting.
Who?
Reading 2021. No, 2100. The very first T1.
Oh yeah, the prototype.
The one that's in Cleveland that's being restored.
Nice. Well, at least we'll get to see the prototype of the class come back. Although that one's had a much stranger life. It was more out of service than it was in it.
If you really think about it, the Reading T1s were used to be, I believe, 280s or 282s, and technically next year will be 2102's 100th birthday when she was very first built. Because if I'm correct, she was rebuilt as a T1 in the 1945, I think it was. So it will be interesting to see her in 100 years.
So technically, she's the same age as Flying Scotsman then.
Yep, technically she's the same age.
I didn't think the Northerns were built back during the 20s. I thought they came around during the 30s and into the early 40s.
Yeah, they're kind of like later designs. Like that's what I think of. They're kind of like 1940 designs.
As well, me, I thought that's what I thought they were in. I didn't know they were built in the 20s.
Yeah.
Although the Reading class were basically the backbone of American railroading. I didn't know why.
Yeah, and also, I have been thinking of. Oh wait, we forgot another locomotive who's been to the United States, Duchess of Hamilton.
Yes, that's basically my favorite coronation class. I've seen what it looked like before, and now I've seen it streamlined, which is really nice.
To be honest, if she actually appeared in the actual show, I would like her to appear as she did in the RWS book without her streamline.
Yeah, although it would be nice to see a flashback of her with the streamline prior to being on streamline.
Technically, she raised Caitlyn's class, which is kind of good for if you want to go like a personal episode about Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Caitlyn, who's that?
Caitlyn is one of the high-speed express engines on the mainland.
Oh yeah, that.
It's her and Connor, which I'm actually kind of confused because they choose two American design engines to play British mainline engines.
Like Sam, for instance.
True, and then you got Logan, who I always keep forgetting. But still, I think Duchess of Hamilton would be a nice character. I don't really think that we should that she should have like a rivalry between her and Mallard because you think about it, that was years ago. So they probably just like gotten over it already and like, hey, we're just friends now.
But then again,
yeah, they are.
Yeah, they may do, but then again, old rivalries don't always die easily, because at the time, the London and Midland Scottish and the LMS were the two biggest of the companies in our country, England.
And then the Great Western was second best, and then you had the Southern Railway, which was like, you know what, we're just going to do our own thing. You can just fight amongst yourselves.
But then again, like I said, the LNER were built for power and speed, but you got the LMS, who were basically, in my opinion, the powerhouse of British Railway because they were the biggest. So I always felt like they relied more on power than speed.
Yeah. To be frankly honest, on GWR terms, I prefer Oliver over Doug. I mean, I know he's the fan favorite, but come on, people need to give Oliver some love here.
I've always liked, to be honest, I've always liked Oliver. Don't know what. Don't ask me why. I just think he was just more likable than Duck was.
And I don't really like his personality as being like the guy who always talks about when he escaped from Scrapped. I kind of like his season 5 persona, which was kind of confusing, but also like maybe I've been given too much. Maybe I should just like do my own separate thing.
Well,
Pretty
after all,
much.
you gotta remember Oliver went through a hell of a lot. What he was going through.
Yeah, and then you got the Scottish twins when they were going to be separated forever, and they have to
Told
stick
you
together.
because of a missing coach.
Exactly.
And
If you've
and
seen that meme on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
yes, I
Spiteful
know.
Breakman too. Don't forget that.
And don't forget the spiteful Brightvan who kind of deserved what he got in the end. Don't look. But at the same time,
which
yeah,
is
I
a
know.
brutal death. We actually see his like as a black
but
guy, and he's being
Exactly.
slowly lifted up.
That's because he's still alive. Unless he could have been in one of the trucks, who knows?
I'm pretty sure he would be dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Who knows? But that's why I saw in NWI 1921 when he and Douglas saw each other at the works. So he got rebuilt, so he didn't die.
Yeah, but and if you take
what about-
RWS Scruffy into account, yep, that one too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Scruffy,
got
I know
resurrected,
him.
Well,
but
the
he
thing is,
deserved what. Yeah.
Scruffy wasn't his whole front end wasn't pulled off. Only his sides were.
Yeah,
He did, but still he was breaking up. But at the same time, he got what was coming.
exactly.
At least
Well,
he
I mean,
kind of
he did have a few rotten wood and rusty frames.
yes, but he was a very villainous truck. At least Oliver showed what happens if you screw with him. But at the same time, I always thought at the same time, I always thought like, what if that Oliver was even stronger? Like, what if he's powerful than Duck? I thought to myself, Jesus Christ! I was like, when I remember watching it, I was like,
Yeah, and actually,
Jesus.
I've always been wondering what the engines would look like in human form, and I always thought the relationship between Toad and Oliver would be like Toad would be like his butler, but then Oliver would be like, "Oh, sit down, Toad. I'll get you your food. Just sit down. You've worked too much."
No. Hold the telephone there. I can't even see Toad wearing like a butler's uniform and talking like
true.
in Star Wars. You'd be like, it's almost like you'd be like saying like, it would almost be like that. This is gonna sound absolutely retarded when I say this. Pardon my French. It'd be like this. It would be like Toad in C-3PO's clothing. He'd be like, hello there. I'm Mr. Toad, the brave man of the Great Western Railway, and this is my counterpart, Oliver, the Great Western Engine.
and let's not. But when it comes to humans, let's not put Mighty Mac into it. It's gonna look way too weird.
No, let's just say Mighty Mac are basically twins, except they had a problem with their birthing. Except eventually, at one point, they did get themselves separated, so they're not like connected twins.
Oh, and have you heard about the recent discovery of the long forgotten character Little Giant?
Yeah, I've heard of that engine.
I saw that on the Thomas Wiki.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a Festiniog single double fairly named after one of Duke's brothers.
Indeed, that's very nice.
If I'm correct, they're actually rebuilding Mountaineer in cabless condition.
Also,
we all know that.
Speaking of Thomas and Friends as human characters, I wonder what Timothy would look like.
He would basically look like Thomas, just a little older looking.
If I'm correct, Timothy's face comes from, and it's hilarious that this is actually true. I think Timothy's face comes from a prank on Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Yeah,
I think so.
I wonder what's happened to that face mask.
Oh, it's probably long gone by now.
But it's been immortalized thanks to my retelling. I know the company who did that for a joke would have had no idea what they've done, how I've made it sure.
Actually, here's a quick question: when you voiced Timothy, did you actually do Timothy's roar? And if you did it actually hurt your voice?
I'm pretty sure he didn't, because I remember him saying in when he was showing the cast of the voice, it did show the person who did the voice of the screaming Timothy. of the Screaming Timothy, but I'm pretty sure he's not.
I can only
not
stay
friends with
for
him
a few
anymore.
minutes, but I
don't
just
know.
remembered something I need to share with you.
All right.
Go ahead.
Can
What
I
do
share
you
my
want to
screen?
show us?
Again, Thomas 6-1 fan. I know things have been a bit crazy since we last met. You know, I had to leave a few friends behind and move on without them because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You know, just to let you know, I didn't want to drag you into that, but there were a few other things that were, you know.
Okay.
Though I bet it really hurt someone's voice when they did do the Timothy.
My name is Hans. Drinking has ruined my life. I'm 31 years old.
Are you really serious, Slim Killer?
Oh God.
Doesn't drinking ruin life?
He's back.
No, I just figured, you know, you're 31 years old today. It was just the perfect
Listen,
time to
bro.
bring that up.
Look, Sinclair, I can see what you said there in the private chat, pal. Listen, pal. That was a good prank. That didn't work too well on me. You can tell my expression.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Look, I may be 31, but I'm drinking like it's like I'm drinking like I'm 25.
I know it was mostly the reference that
25 already.
you're the same
Yes.
age as Han Small Man now.
I know. Or even about when Jesus, or how about Jesus himself? He's playing like it's 0, like he was 37 or something when he died.
You're 31. I'm gonna be 21 this year.
Well,
And I just turned 18 like 2 weeks ago.
oh wow, so there's a
Happy
decade.
birthday to you then.
Just like my brother
Yeah, this
Daniel.
year's going to be my golden birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my
I
brother
bet
Daniel.
I
he's
bet you
40
there are
now.
gonna be a lot of people going 21 jokes
Oh, God.
whenever I hear that.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
But actually, fun fact, I've actually done Timothy on my own YouTube channel, though I don't give him the gruff voice. I give him more like, "Oh, it's you."
Sorry, guys, I
like
have to
I give
go.
him like a very
Now I had a couple
sly
of
voice.
minutes, and my dad's making me plow the driveway today.
Okay. I'm having a great time, like I said, Slim Killer. Really having some good fun.
I have a massive driveway, and it's uphill.
I have a driveway that goes uphill too.
Like I said,
I mean,
guys.
I mean, when I do
Right, guys.
on my YouTube channel, I have like I have a character called Ravanna, who's like the most popular character on my channel. Basically, he's kind of like the biggest, meaniest engine you have. I have.
Here's what I got just for my favorite band until I got into them. Sabaton, my first card from them.
The Bismarck song is on fire.
Very nice,
Yeah.
Glenn.
Yes, as you just heard, that's what I was listening to. Yeah, that Bismarck was my first song I ever heard of them. And speaking of which, it turned up. It was supposed to turn up tomorrow, but no, it came on the night just with my other one, the song that introduced me to them.
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Yep, The Terror of the Seas. Even though we Brett sank her, she's pretty good, especially in the anime series in As Lane, and she looks pretty damn good.
Well,
Can I show you my hoodie I'm wearing?
Can I just say that it took like, I don't know, twice as hard to get rid of Turpitz as it took to get rid of Bismarck.
No, look, we just got her eventually, you know. But we had to listen. But like I said, don't.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, look,
Yep.
look. Spider-Man 3 was okay for that, but it was a pretty damn bad movie for other reasons. Venom came way too late. It should have just been about Venom. It just should have been about Venom in a build-up. Like it should have been just him in the suit, and then they could have done a sequel after in Spider-Man 4, all about Venom afterwards.
Well, get this. Originally in Spider-Man 3, Venom wasn't even meant to be in the movie at all.
That's
It
what
was
I
only
mean. They
just
rushed him. That's what I mean. They kind
Yeah,
of like shoved him in there.
Yeah.
I do have
And
other
of course,
hoodies.
that movie provided lots of memes, including
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
Boy
You know, don't get me
Maguire
wrong.
and
Seeing
I'm gonna
Spider-Man
put
in his
some
dark
dirt in
outfit
your
was
eye.
pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. It was good to see the symbiote Spider-Man. You know, it was nice to see him in that form, which was pretty cool. Although the thing was, I was kind of thinking to myself, it was giving me a vibe to the Spidey armor, where he's like silver and blue or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised we never got to see that on camera before, because that was one of my favorite. That's my personal favorite suit of Spider-Man, in the Spidey armor.
I feel like whenever he wears, like, I think Sam Raimi said that it's like when you wear the symbiote suit, It's kind of like a drug that you keep taking.
Mhm.
Oh,
And actually, fun fact, I've actually been making a few custom engines of myself for my own series. I've just been like doing like Trackmaster models of them.
You know,
I had
Michael,
Trackmaster years ago.
you know, Michael, when you said like you have Timothy in your YouTubers, I actually did the same thing with that, but only on Halloween.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When I did the only video I did Timothy on was the one video where I had a real life engine. I forgot who it was. I think it was an LBR. I think it was an LBSER-E1. He meets a ghost engine who took away the love of his life, and then that's when Timothy comes, and then the two ghost engines have like an argument, and then like Timothy ends up winning the argument, but then he says like I will be back, and and then it's supposed to set up something for much bigger. I mean, as of right now, I have 4 movies planned regarding this and this story plot. Timothy the movie, Ravenna the movie, Thomas's Great Adventure, and Brothers Feud.
Nice.
Well,
And yes,
Tim-
Hey,
Brothers
guys.
Feud does have the rivalry between Timothy and Thomas in it.
Hey guys, just to let you know, it's not just my birthday today. Somebody else is having their birthday as well on the same day as mine.
Oh, who's that?
Who is it?
One of my friends named the daughter of Daniel Turner. Oh, nice.
Wow, that's nice.
Oh, it's Ellie. Oh, nice. That's really nice.
And actually, I've come up with this actual thing in my head canon. That's kind of like how the untold story of Timothy is in your version, where Edward knew the story, but instead everyone knows the story. But Edward has said, "Don't tell Thomas," because what happens if he finds out about it? He'll become like, we don't know what's going to happen if he knows about it.
Who doesn't know?
I mean, if you really think about it, Timothy's death is kind of like that creepypasta Thomas and the Children, if you think about it.
Oh God, don't bring that into the fold. Jesus Christ, that's almost like if Timothy had actually possessed him.
I don't know what that fiction is, and I probably don't want to.
There's also that one.
either.
There's also that 1981 creepypasta of Thomas where he falls off and dies and goes into the scrapyard afterwards.
Oh yeah, that one.
There's nothing quite like it.
Some people even say. One guy even commented saying, because someone did a remake of it and Timothy was in the background, and one said Timothy must have cursed at Thomas. Maybe that, and I said as a joking theory, maybe that was his plan and revenge all along.
If you really think about it, when you were doing the story of Timothy, did you really think that you would make Timothy have that kind of power to possess other engines, or do you think he was just going to do everything by himself?
Everything all by himself, but I didn't want him to possess others because I didn't want to make him too dark. He's not like any ordinary ghost. Like I said, he was like, because if you read my original fanfic on DeviantArt, Timothy compared to the movie is much more darker, he's much more scarier and more bloodier. He's basically his creepypasta form.
Yeah,
apparently the fan fiction is a lot older than the movie itself.
Well, I started in the fanfic first before even thinking of a movie at the time. That never crossed. That's what I'm just saying.
I actually kind of like your innocent voice you gave Timothy, and I think it was trailer 6 of the movie. That's actually how I actually pictured Timothy to actually sound like it if it was his original voice. That like it would be like somewhat pain, somewhat sorrow, somewhat hatred, and he always wanted to be a really useful engine, and you can hear that in his voice.
I took the inspiration from Freddy Krueger's trailer, and I thought to myself, I need to do something like this. And to be honest, that's how Timothy would have spoken, but technically what you don't know is that was actually him kind of transforming and mixing in his innocence to darker forms. He was kind of, at this point, what's the word? He was transforming into his demonic variation.
I actually like how in the Clinchfield Curse, during that scene with Timothy and Edward, we learned that it's not only Timothy's dark side that wants to kill Thomas, it's also his innocent side.
Because he can't, he's basically, he's just going along with his demonic form. And he can't beat it. He just has to do it, And,
to be honest, despite the fact that horror on the Kirk-Renaud branch is kind of like the least known of the three movies, I think Kirk-Renaud branch is probably the saddest in terms of the story between Thomas and Timothy.
Well, like I said, excuse me, that's
Bless you.
Bless you.
So after I was saying,
hey, Harvey.
Hey, Harvey, welcome back. Where'd you go, pal?
Harvey?
He's not there.
Anyway, I'll be heading off.
All right then, Thomas. It's nice having you on for a while.
Yeah, I'm going. Oh no! Also, when everyone takes my last name, please tell them just use the word my first name. I only get the full name trim. It's very stupid or talk deaf.
Okay, we get it.
Okay then, I'll speak to you guys soon, and happy birthday.
Oh, this is too good. I'm getting so many birthday messages. Thanks, Bradley. Bradley Jones, I appreciate that, pal. Thanks, Craig.
Okay then, bye-bye.
Everybody's just going left, right, center. I've not had this many since a few years ago online. This is really good.
Also, another thing I like how you did with Timothy was the part where whenever Timothy materializes, you use that puffing effect that is used in the actual Ghost Train episode. I actually like how you use that for when Timothy actually materializes into existence.
Well, yeah. Well, at the time that was just part of his creepypasta sound. Like basically, it's his screaming performance of himself. Like when you hear him, like he's coming. That's the sound of him. When you hear the whistle and then you hear that puffing sound, and then all of a sudden you hear that screeching. That's supposed to represent him screaming, basically, or whatever.
I think Timothy has the most iconic whistle of any Thomas and Friends fan-made character.
Yeah, everybody knows. It's funny because when you hear that whistle, it's him coming. It's to alert his presence if he's out there. You just don't know where he is. You can hear him, but you don't know if he's in front of you, is he behind you, or is he could be anywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. During part 1 of the Ghost Train of the Untold Story of Timothy, that jump scare literally scared the hell out of me.
Is it the one at the end after the intro credit?
Like I literally can't watch it. Like it doesn't even matter. Like either day or night, I literally can't watch that. Like can't finish that because it literally just happens so suddenly. Like you're just waiting for the next one, and just giant Ghost Train with a bloody face and eyes and black.
I think Timothy's most scariest face is the one where Percy first experienced him and he says, "Welcome to your grave zone." That face was horrifying.
Listen, that was just a one-time face to use just to scare the hell out of somebody. And of course, it was just I don't know what made me use it now.
Well, we do see it again.
If I was to reshoot that again, I probably would have used I would have used just a less bloodier face of Timothy when he just said that word. It was just at the time, it was a darker time period. Yeah, for fun, like scare the hell out of people, but to make it like a roller coaster ride.
Well, you did use it again, and when Timothy shot forward to Percy and Toby.
Well, that's because we were still using newer faces on him still, and of course at the time his eyes weren't too narrow at that point.
If I remember, during the first part, there was no face on the Timothy model before. You just had to use like PNG during the shots of the beginning.
I think that was like an older model.
That's what I mean, because we didn't have face masks for Timothy at the time.
When did you find the face masks anyway?
When people started adapting it into it afterwards. But at the time, it was a stunt double I had to use.
A stunt double?
Yeah, because I was using GIMP and I was using Final Cut Express to mask over. You know.
But then you got better and better with the Timothy faces, and it's pretty good.
Many others have made them before me, but some think I've stealed their faces. But at the same time, I'm creating them, and they've just become just good now since some of the models ever since.
I really like Timothy. I especially like using him during Halloween because it's very spooky. It's a very spooky month.
I do love Timothy for his story and his personality.
Like, you never know where he's going to appear in the video. Like, for me, I always like using his like having a scary talk. I actually use like the haunted line a few times in my videos during the end where you see Timothy. I especially used one where he's popping down the line, just cackling evilly, and then he just puffs away into the fog.
Yeah, well, that's what that's basically what he does most of the time in his demonic formation. But like I said before, he's just like, you know, just doing that. He's like the wandering ghost. You don't know where he's going to come up. You know, it's like I said. Oh, I've lost what I was going to say now. Oh.
Take your time.
I know, I can't. I don't even know what it was now. It's gone. Be right back.
To be frankly honest, I think I kind of actually like the fact that Timothy was a prototype engine and that he feels Thomas stole away what could have been his.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when I do like the fact that we learned that Timothy once worked on Sodor, that on the Kirk Renault branch before he like helped to build the line, because that expanded more on his backstory and like something that if he was actually still alive, I would picture Timothy as being the same kind of personality as Edward.
Yeah, hang on, Michael. Here are a few videos of mine that has Timothy in it. There's this one, and they're like train remakes, and they were both set on Halloween. Although one of them was a bit late.
Jimmy, you always do good work, buddy.
Thank you. Also, nice to see you again, Harpy.
Yeah, I've been busy dealing with stuff, trying to deal with the root and everything else. It's been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've actually done several ghost stories on my YouTube channel, though none of them have actually featured Timothy, except one where the engine says that she knew Timothy in life.
But hey, Harpy, I got my channel back.
Congrats, man! I'm happy for you.
Thanks, and I just hope to stay that way. Basically, for my channel this year, I just want to be I'm just gonna be careful,
cautious. I get you.
I really don't want to get terminated again.
Yeah, I get you.
Also,
timing sucks, but hey, it's what you gotta do.
I have an idea in my series, which I bet you two will like. Since we have the Scottish twins, why not we have the Irish twins?
Who are the Irish twins?
I mean, it could work.
It could. You just got to figure out a couple of characters to fit the role.
Well, I mean, we do have China Clay. We have China Clay twins. We have the Scottish twins, and then we have Judy and
Alfred and Judy.
Alfred and Judy.
And then we got Iron Airy and Iron Bert.
Oh, yeah.
They're brothers, not twins.
Splodge. Don't forget Splodge.
Splatter and Dodge, yeah, they're both idiots. Bumbling idiots, I might add.
Which never come back.
Yeah, after Magic Railroad, they mysteriously go poof.
I'm pretty sure they just went back to the mainland and just got scrapped.
I mean,
what kind of... I'm back. I'll be happy to end this show. Guys, I'll be going in a few hours, so I'll have to wrap this one up in a minute or whatever, but we'll continue on for a bit. So...
I mean, to be frankly honest, if I had to pick between Splodge or the Splatter and Dodge and Norman, what the... if the show was still continuing, I want you to do something with Norman, please. You keep forgetting about him.
Hey, by the way, Thomas Man 6129, like again, it was very good that you came back. You know, I have kind of missed you. I was wondering where you were, and I'm just glad you've come back on my birthday, and I'm just glad that we're still, you know, talking. And you know, despite you may have heard a lot of past drama which Harpy and that may have informed you with, but that's all finished. In my opinion, now we're done. We're finished. You know, we can move on. You know, the last couple of years have been pretty hell. I did lose a couple of friends, which I've had to let go of. You know, because the fandom of Thomas was just literally disintegrating, and it has been still. But we can safely say that we're in our own fandom now, where we can just have our peace, despite the drama-ing and
Despite all the hell.
Pardon, Harpy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Drama can be hard to listen to, but I can just basically ignore it. I just don't.
I just feel like, what's the point in doing it? It's not like you're not going to get anything good out of it.
No.
You were saying something, Harpy, as well. You said something earlier on. What did you say?
Well, basically, we're a community inside a community. The fandom's gone to shit, but however, there's a select few of us that are still clinging together as true fans.
That's what I mean. Like,
and those are the ones that can help revive the fandom without doing anything. Like just hanging out, working together, talking about stuff, gives the rest of the community a chance to wake the hell up and grow up.
If they choose to, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. I've had that with a lot of them. They're like many servers. As soon as I come into one or whatever, it all goes to hell. Even just mentioning me, like in certain streams, it sets everybody off.
Yeah, well.
You know, I mean, I know we all know that there are people who like to have a good time, have fun. Like Brandon likes to have a good time on his streams. Don't get me wrong, but when I see what he goes through, I feel sorry for him at times. Listen, it's a shame he's not here having a good. He's like he said he will try and join us if he could, but if he can't, he's busy with other stuff and everything else. I clearly understand. I that's just how it is. If people can't make it, then they can't. If people can, they can. You know, that's it. As long as they.
I'm always the one who doesn't really like going the drama. When always there's drama, I always try to stay out of it or just do something that would overcome it.
Well, it's not just Brandon that was having the worst. I also had to help like another. I also had to help like another friend. Like this, the person was going through so much. Like they literally thought that it wasn't even worth living anymore. Then they should just kill themselves. And I just
I struggled with that a lot recently. I did. It's like they wanted me to. I mean, even an old friend of mine, who I won't say, it says like, enough with the drama about me and anything else. It was like you're forcing this young grown man to do stupid decisions and making him want to end his own life. And that's why I think most of the guys who still hate me are trying to make me do, because
Well, that's the thing. Suicide is not worth it. It doesn't even matter if you even do kill yourself. That pain will not go. That pain will not go away. It's not going to do anything.
It's just that with me, I'm like, I've learned my mistakes now. I've moved on, and I am very apologetic to those who I've unintentionally may have harmed, and I didn't mean to. It's just that some people need to learn to let go, and like I've done. And yet, instead of, because you may have seen a lot of cruel revealing about, of who I used to be, which is not there anymore, and they continue. And as Harpy has said to me, they'll only just stay in the past and talk about nothing but that. But then look at where we are. We're in 2022. We've progressed on, even though we do have a few scars of mistakes we've learned from. Yeah, it can be troublesome and very troubling, and I've been there before. Like I said, I have gone down that road before, but I wouldn't really do it. I would do it in a way of desperation, as a plea to call out for help, not to actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Who knows what this is going to bring?
We don't want to go down negative lines. I'm just letting you guys know. Tom's community does need a rebuilding, and it needs to have, because a lot of us good friends we've had have either been lost, some have left, some may have no longer existed anymore because of this, and you have toxic people who think it's all right to be that way. And like I said, I can understand. I mean, some people still compare me to who I've seen was far worse than I ever was. But yeah, that's kind of stopped. but I will say I'm nowhere like anybody else. It's just, I may have my flaws, but nowhere near to extreme level where it could be considered monstrous. Hey, Michael Brown.
We got 2 Michaels in here now.
We have, yeah. Nice to see you, Michael. Look, I know you don't have to worry about, you still being in contact with me. You may have heard about a certain individual who, we've had to let go of. So, I forgive you. You're still my good friend. You don't want to be caught up in anything. It's just, at least you're still a loyal friend. That's all I can tell you, mate.
Yep. As Thomas and Friends says, friendship is key.
Pretty much.
Except if you take it to all engines go level.
That's not good. Look, we don't want to go there.
Again, I'm still sticking to my word of not touching all engines go because I just don't want to be associated with it.
I just want to just keep that out.
To be honest, I think we should have known that Big Adventures was going to be the start of the downhill spiral.
I think it only led to I think it further went downhill. I think the downhill's been going on before then.
To be honest, I don't even think Mattel even did a good job with Big Adventures. I don't think they did the market well.
Listen, Mattel was good in some certain things, like with WWE wrestling and other things, but with Thomas, no. Look, I don't want to sound sour on them, but they just don't have it. I think Hasbro would be perfect to buy them out because look at what they've been doing recently. They've come back so well. They would know how to teach Thomas really better.
Actually, here's a good question. In your opinion, who is the best RWS engine that has so far not been in the TV series that should be in the series?
Wilbert.
Good question.
I was gonna say either the Colty Fell engines or Bear.
I think they both. To be honest, I'm just both.
I like Wilbur because
I know with the Colby Fell Railway engines you have very limited stories to be like, but hey, at least if you watch the I forgot what it was the anniversary DVD for Thomas and Friends. One of the mothers actually references Coldy, which is like the only thing you're going to get in the television series.
Maybe that was a hint that they were still that they were there, but just didn't have time to film it.
Yeah, but then you got Bear, who's who was going to become one of the most popular one of the popular characters in the Railway series because he was going to be one of the lead characters. And then you got Barry, who could have been good, but then again, Thomas being star Billy Knucklehead he is, Barry didn't come into reality. Well, he is in our hearts and trains.
Speaking of Bear and everything else, I've noticed something in the books, apparently. I've noticed in the books he's mentioned a lot when he's with Boko. It's almost like in the Railway series, in the Christopher Ordway's books, he's got like a very good friendship with him. And and speaking of Boko's friendship with other engines, he also seems to be very, very good with Gordon, like as we've seen a few times.
I actually kind of, to be frankly honest, I think Timothy was not the ghost engine, the oil burning engine. I think he was introduced. I think he was introduced to the series to replace the role of Boko and Edward.
Indeed,
which kind of sucks.
I like Timothy, both Ghost Engine and Oil Burning Engine, but still, it would have been nice to have Boko back again and Derek if he would.
Yeah, speaking of Timothy, someone did a funny meme with Timothy on the back, and somebody used my voice, and then they replaced Timothy's face with the ghost demon mask, and Thomas was horrified. So I thought that was a good joke, and some people still do that to this day still. So I can get that joke. That's all right.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the character that Mattel has handled the most with that is probably good is I want to say Edward because his hit era personality was terrible. Let's just face it. Him in the hit era, he was terrible.
I feel like Thomas in the Magic Railroad was the start of the Thomas downfall.
I actually liked that movie because it was something that okay. I know why you might not like Thomas and Magic Railroad. I understand that, but
Hang on, just wait. I do like that. I do like that film. I did watch it when I was a kid.
I like Thomas and Magic Railroad because it's something more different than we would usually see in a Thomas and Friends realm. We see more like human persona with the engines, especially with Mr. Conductor, who is played by Alec Baldwin. Always good in his roles, except when he was narrating season 6. Dear God,
Yeah.
but I do think that Thomas and Magic Railroad could have been good, though I understand why they couldn't have Edward in it because, well, I don't see any part where he would actually play a role except replacing Toby's role with the one of like messing up Diesel Tense and Splodge.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Although he could have been used as background.
Yeah, though I do love the fact that Lady is voiced by
Hello,
Britt
everyone.
Parkinson.
Hey,
Hello.
Michael Brown, did you get my message earlier? Like, you know, I said to you, we're fine, we're still good.
What message?
When you popped in earlier before you disappeared.
Yeah, I must have cut it out or something.
Yeah, again, mate, we're still good buddies. You know, I had to let go of, I had to do this, and moving on without him, regardless after what's gone on. But don't worry, it was a shambles. You know, I was with you in the stream, and I was actually talking to you in the private chat before I got blocked out, which was not good. I know you're still encountered with that, but look, I'm not going to judge you for it. It's just that it's done with now. I declared my piece and moved on, so I've made my move. I just think the others may not do any more now, but
yeah, both of you may not have buried the hatchet towards each other, but you've done it separately.
Look, I've gone my own way. There's no hatchet done. I just wanted to say, like, that's it. Like I did my last stream, I was like, declared a peaceful progression. That was it. No more, because I can only take so much of all the, what I've had to deal with, of who I was back in the past. But that's who I'm a reformed man, and I'm good. I'm 31 years of age, and I'm having a good time, and I'm not going to have this good spy spoiled. We're in 2022, and that's that. Again, Michael, it's fine. You don't have to worry. I mean, you and I can still trust each other.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
I didn't want to get you caught up in all,
Oh.
Michael, your signal's acting up. So anyways, guys, like, how's your 2022 been so far, despite we're a month into it?
Very fine.
It's good.
I mean, we're only a month into it. Nothing as much has been happening, but still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did see the new Spider-Man film with my brother back in January.
Same here. I liked it.
It was awesome.
It's been the best Spider-Man film since 2014. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm definitely looking forward to the new Batman one coming out next month. I want to see that one.
I'm not really a Batman fan. I'm just
I'd like to see
it. Actually, in case you're just feeling down or anything, just do as the song says: "Never, never, never give up," and then just continue on.
Indeed, I know I've had friends come and go, but most of them are all intoxicated in the family, and some just don't understand me as a person, what I've gone through and everything, and I'm very remorseful. I know we all screwed up in 2020, and 2021 was a hard year to get through as well, but I think we've got back on it now, and I've tried to make up with some people.
Yeah.
I do feel sorry. I
Yeah, I understand that. People always feel sorry for others. Sometimes it's just that you need those people to take time. Like hey, maybe he's not as bad as he used to be or something.
Yes, Thomas Fan, I can see the whole Timothy Censor thing. Yeah, that doesn't mean I know. Some people think that's a joke.
No. It's meant to be a parody of the Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. Like, I can tell where you were referring.
It's not anything offensive. Just it's not meant to be rude. I just made that for fun.
But like I said, I have made amends. I've tried to make amends with some. I don't want to force myself to do that. It's just that we all messed up, and the thing is, I won't be able to trust people the same way again anymore, and that's another thing. Because of other reasons I'm trying to break away from, or avoid being seen or whatever. It's just one of those things, okay? Regardless of who we are in this type of thing and the whole, because, look, I don't want to get too, yeah. All right. Oh, well, Dad, hang on. Hang on, Dad. Okay. All right. All right. Hang on, Dad. I'm really wrapping this one up. Hold on.
Right.
Yeah, we're almost done. I know. I've got to wrap this one up in a moment. But either way, guys, like I said, we're in a new year. I just wish things could be more better this year, and I don't want any more. Look, I just want to I want to keep out of the whole issues between our kind and our darker counterparts and other stuff. Because I'm done with all that now. Like, I've spent 2 years neutrally fighting on that, and I've screw it. I've had enough. I'm not going to get involved. I just wish it could just be done. But I will not coexist anymore in that sort of thing. We all matter. Everything matters. Not one or the other. That's all I'm saying. That's just... Harpy knows what I'm referring to. I just want that to stop in the US badly. Because I've said a few times, if we go down that road again, we're not going to get involved. There's more to life than who we are. As I've said before, we may be different in terms of who we are in this sort of thing, and nationality is something else. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and we may not be related by blood, but as Sabaton will always keep saying, we're all brothers, we're all friends.
We all walk the same earth. So.
We walk the same earth together, even though we don't have the blood related. We still bleed the same blood that comes out of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think this year of 2022 should be a brand new year of brotherhood, and that's what I have in my head at this point. I feel like a new level of that is being formed. That's one of my resolutions, and in the fandom of Thomas, like what we are, like you said, Harpy, we're our own community, and I feel like that's where the brotherhood of friendship can lie. It's like what Magneto says in the X-Men. Except you get my drift for a different reason. But either ways, guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys in. And I'll wrap this one up now because I've got to get ready in here. I've got to get going in a few hours, so I have to get prepared. So
I gotta go to sleep soon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say thank you so much for tuning in on this birthday celebration. Thanks for tuning in, Nick, as well.
No problem. I still gotta give you a birthday present too. I haven't forgotten yet. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Don't worry, Harpy. Listen, Nick, just take your time with it because I've got to go out and have a nice meal with my family. I will be back. And of course, you, Thomas Fan 6129, it was a pleasure to have you back. I thought I recognized you first because I hadn't seen you for months. Like, I haven't seen you since the summer of last year or wherever it was because I felt like I'd lost you. I was
again dealing with YouTube and hackers with my channel, and it eventually it caused it to get terminated during August, and I didn't do anything about it. I was just too sad, and I thought it was over. But my parents helped me get through it and told me to get back up and just get my channel back, and that's what I did.
I did know that happened. I thought the worst had happened to you, pal. So I was a bit worried, because even I last year nearly died from COVID last year, but I pushed through.
Yeah.
Just.
That's basically what just happened to me with my channel. I just thought it was over, but my parents helped me get through it and told me to get back up, and I did. I got my channel back, and and this time it's staying. But I got to be careful. But I'm being careful this time.
Don't worry. I mean, you're safer here. I've been on here for nearly 15 years, and I've seen ups and downs. But in any cases, yes, Michael Brown, the pandemic may be done, but who knows? It's still out there. But I have unless we contain it, we'll finally get normality back, and we won't have to wear our masks as much. But I am a bit concerned. But either ways, guys, for now, I think we're in a much better position. But thank you guys for tuning in. You mean the world to me, guys. And listen, and for those of you guys who don't like me or continue to hate me, please just show some love and respect for everybody, for mankind's sake. Even if it's your birthdays, I have nothing but ultimate respect for that. Look, hatredness and jealousy and everything else that some of you guys might have for me or whatever, just try and drop it, mate, because I've got no more grudges on anybody else anymore. I'm just not that person anymore. I'm a good man. I'm happy. Look, regardless, it's a time of celebration, and of course, peace and love always, forever and ever. Here's to a 2022 and continue on with a positive year. And, hopefully the brotherhood of humankind for every one of us, despite what happened in the last 2 years, we can rebound and form a newer sense of while things are changing. And that's all I've got to say. We may not get along always, but we're all human. Like I said, we walk the same planet, we bleed the same blood. God made us who we are. Look, I'm not religious, but I do believe in him. Even though I'm a good Christian, I'm proud of it.
Fantastic speech.
That's what I mean. Peace and love, forever and ever. Thank you guys for tuning in for this special 31st birthday bonus stream of mine I decided to plan for celebrating. And maybe I'll see you guys sometime, maybe whenever I decide to stream again, even if I join any of yours. But for now, thank you guys. This is for all of you. You mean the world to me, guys. You really do.
All right, Glenn.
Take care, lads. God bless you all.
God bless.